No, I'm setting up my station. I haven't done this in a while. Oh, so exciting. I like it when my hair is like this. Is this chaotic? Maybe a little, but it is on YouTube, so it's a bit of freedom. Hey guys, and welcome to the very first Monday of 2026 on this channel, and welcome to one of our very first programs for 2026. This will count as a sound check. So welcome to, look at me speaking with the mic so far away. Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. The name is Gorata.Selaledi. I'm so excited to be here yet again on a beautiful Monday. If you're new here, please do smash that subscription button. Excited to say that again. Haven't been here in a week. But if you're new here, please do click on the subscription button. We are back with our Monday coaching sessions. Decided that we're going to do it. We're going to put out 18 full hours this year of free sessions where you can actually get time to find alignment in your own life. So welcome to the session. If you're new here, the name is Gorata.Selaledi. I am a certified professional life coach. It's always so cringy when I say that, but yes, I am, with Transformation Academy. And I do have other 3 certifications in goal success, emotional intelligence, and life story coaching. And currently, there's a fly flying in the room, but so loud. Messy intro. But what I wanted to say, I'm going to use my hands a lot today, clearly. But what I wanted to say as well is that I am also studying for my neurolinguistic programming practitioner certification, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, diploma in modern applied psychology, and what else? Yeah, I think those are the 4 key things I'll be looking to accomplish this year, because I'd hope to actually do them during my confinement period, but that didn't work out the way I thought it would because I was tired half the time and also had to focus on my little one. And if you're new here, little life update is that this girlie over here is a new mom, and life is really revolving around this little boy. So you will hear me give a lot of references around motherhood when I do give my examples. Weight loss, because I did gain a bit of weight during my pregnancy. What else? Career, because I am a 9-to-5 girlie. And what else? Yeah, and I guess we'll get to know each other as we go along. And you may be wondering about the tree. I promise this will just be 3 minutes. About the tree, this tree is going to be up here the whole year because my son is still an infant, is not walking, is not crawling. By the time he starts walking, we're going to take it down because we don't want him terrorizing and pulling anything down or pulling it down because he's so strong. But otherwise, this is the intro for our very first program for the year, from vision to results. I don't know if I should add the from, but vision, from vision to results in 2026. So the way the program is going to be structured, I will share in the next clip. So welcome to the program. I decided to move my book club, my virtual book club reviews to my Instagram. So if you are wondering, Gorata, it's Monday, where is the book review? Please do check out my Instagram at Gorata.Selaledi, where I will be sharing my book reviews over there. And I'm thinking maybe every Sundays when my son is still sleeping, I'll come on there and share what I'm learning. And this month we are reading I haven't started reading, I will be honest, but it's called, what is it called? The Celebration of Discipline. I had to pause and go to my Adobe and check what it's called. I will be reading it today. Today's Saturday. I don't have anything planned, so I'm going to be reading it, and also our book club read, which is the 12-week which only has 163 pages. So I'm determined to just do 20 pages and then do 20 pages again for my virtual book club read. So please do check it out on my Instagram. And if you are here for the program, welcome. So this is the first program for the year. We're going to be having, I guess, weekly reset coaching sessions, and this is the first of many. And we pray for God to just bless these videos to find their way to the people that need them. Yesterday, I was actually thinking about how I live out my life thinking that everyone else is the same as me, like in terms of being able to plan, in terms of being able to manage their time. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I have a system, yeah. And I always think, I'm like, okay, maybe everyone has it figured out, but I'm like, no, but there is someone out there. Should have laid my edges. I did not. But welcome. This is very, very personable. But yeah, what I want to say is that thinking that everyone else has it figured out, right? In terms of their goals. And if you are that person, welcome to the session, calming down a little for you. If you haven't figured out how to get outcomes, maybe you've sat in the previous year, you haven't figured out how do I move from the vision board to getting real outcomes. I am going to be your coach for 2026. So welcome, and leave it in the session, leave it in the comment section if you are going to be joining me every week as we reset and realign, and stick around to the very end for me to share a little public service announcement regarding this particular program, and I guess how 2026 is going to be looking for you if you are looking to have an accountability partner in 2026. I may have spilled the secret too soon. But jokes. So welcome to the program. Just wanted to welcome you. I guess used up the full 2 minutes that I'd hoped to actually use. But what else? So yeah, I did share who this is for. That was one of the things I wanted to share. But truly what I'd want to do with these spaces is to create a space where you can pause and realign, because you obviously have your goals, you obviously set your vision board for the year, but are you deliberate about having space where you reflect, I want to create that space for you? So I'm hoping that these sessions will be that for you and for me as well. I am also going to use them as a personal space to check in and check myself as the year goes along, right? But the key outcomes, I think, in terms of the sessions is to provide you with clarity, with a bit of focus and emotional support. And you may be seeing me look down just to my notes in my book over here. So let's get into it. I'm going to break these down into sections so that I can actually add dividers in the video. We're going to be very deliberate about editing this year. If you've been following the journey, you know exactly what I mean. So let's get into the first part of the video. All right, so for this section, we are going to be doing a little mental reset where I'd want us to close off the previous week, right? I'm going to be putting these out on a Monday, and you may be watching it whatever day it is, but I hope that you will be deliberate about watching them every single Monday. And what we're going to do for this section, just for the next 4 minutes, I'd want for us to think about the past week, right? How was the past week for you? Were you home? Were you at work? It was the first week of the year, and I don't know about you, but I was high off of that new year energy. And I think this year is different in terms of planning, because truly my theme for the year is God. So a lot of Bible study, a lot of prayer, a lot of worship. And then in terms of goals, definitely allowed myself to sit down and set my resolutions. What about you? Have you done that exercise? Or are you feeling a bit scared? I did talk about a bit of hopelessness in the previous video, on my Faith Friday video, where I was sharing how I allowed myself to set my resolutions. So what have you done in terms of planning and goal setting in the past week? Please do leave it in the comment section for me to appreciate. So I want us to do a little exercise for our mental reset, to think about the past week, right? So I want for you to think about one win from the past week, one win from last week. What would that be associated with in terms of your goals. It could be your health, it could be your career. Maybe you showed up with the right energy back at work last week. Maybe you went running. There's this TikTok guy who I haven't actually clocked his name yet. I love his videos, and I see them on Instagram actually, where he snaps a picture and he's like, "Did you go to gym today?" A lot of pressure. But did you? What counts as your win from the past week, right? So I'd want for you to think about that a little and write it down. So for these sessions, I hope that you will find a book. Don't put any pressure on yourself for buying a fancy journal. Any book can be an A4 book. I love those the most because they're very big and you have a lot of space. But get a journal, a book that's going to be dedicated for you to capture your thoughts, and put a big title, From Vision to Results, week 1. So what one thing do you feel counts as a win for you in the past week? And the second thing is, what one lesson do you believe you've picked from last week, from the first week of 2026? And it might feel as though, Gorata, I didn't manage to go to the gym. Might feel like I failed. Why even try? Why even bother? Not a failure, but a lesson. What didn't work in the past week? Maybe you didn't prepare. Maybe you slept late. Maybe you need to change those habits a bit in the coming week. A bit of grace for yourself as we move into week 2. And then one emotional pattern that you may have noticed in the past week. How did you feel as the new year started? Did you feel overwhelmed? Did you feel fearful? Do you feel hopeful? Did you feel hopeless? Where's your head at in terms of your emotions for 2026? Maybe there's a bit of weight from 2025, and that's okay. And I want for us to get to a place of being able to be aware of how we feel and move to a place of regulation, because we don't just want to stay there. We don't want our emotions to be in control. We should be in control. So a closing thought for our mental reset, to really think about and journal, and you can pause this video after this clip. What worked this past week? What worked for you, right, in terms of your health goals, in terms of your financial goals, whatever goal you set for yourself. And maybe you haven't started, but maybe you allowed yourself to sit down and plan. Maybe that worked, right? That's one thing that you did right. What drained you in the past week? Could be at work, could be at home, but what drained your energy? It could be conversations, it could be particular people, and who are energy vampires. But who was it? What was it? Write it down and reflect for yourself. What emotion showed up the most in the past week? Was it fear? Was it hopelessness? Please think about it. Write it down in your journal. And yeah, that counts as our mental reset for the year. So let's move into the second part of the video, where we're going to be talking about vision reconnection for the next 5 minutes. So we're going to be here for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be putting out a coaching program every single month. 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. The first week is a grace week, where I get to plan and read and research and make sure, I'm putting in the right information for you for these programs. And clearly, for me, in terms of the vision for my coaching sessions for this year, that's the vision for my YouTube. To put out one program. To put out one program every single month, which is a 3-week program, the second, third, and last Monday of every single month, right? So I'd want us to get to a place where we move from that place of operating from a place of urgency to moving to a place of purpose. I caught myself as I was preparing to come on here. I was feeding my son, and I was waiting for my husband to come and pick him and be with him. And I had to calm myself down to say, remove the urgency and pull back purpose. Use that time, even as I was feeding my son and looking into his beautiful eyes, to remove the urgency to get here, and allow myself to be in the present and trust that the vision that I have for the day will come to pass, right? So I'd want you to operate from that place. And I think once you've established your vision for the year, it becomes very easy for you to anchor your days, because I know that I want to work on my content this year. I want to work on, I'd say, my brand for 2026, and pretty much every action that I take for each of my days has to be aligned to that. So what about you? It may be your health journey, it may be finances, and obviously I have those particular goals, but I will speak to, I guess, different goals at different points as we go along throughout the year. But leave it in the comment section. What is part of your vision for 2026? What are you looking to see when 2026 comes to an end and you're doing your 2025 2026 wrapped or wrap up? What are you hoping to see? Like for me, in terms of my programs, obviously I want to have 12 programs, or 11 since we're doing Vlogmas. 11 programs put out successfully in 2026. 11 programs. So that would be almost 17 hours of free coaching provided here on my YouTube with that beautiful Christmas tree at the back. So 3 questions for our vision reconnection. 3 questions to you. Pause this video once I've shared all 3 and reflect on them in your journal. So what am I ultimately building? What am I ultimately building? What are your non-negotiables when you're thinking about the bigger purpose? I think about my coaching sessions in a bigger way to then say, one day I will be able to quit my 9 to 5 and do coaching full time, because I am passionate about personal development. I am passionate about unlocking people's potential. So giving myself the next decade to work, to build, and this is part of building. This counts as one little brick. So this is a non-negotiable for me, week in, week out. I have to be able to make time to come here, create content for you, create content for myself as we are building. So for you, in terms of the goal that you've set for yourself, I'd want for you to think about it that way in terms of outcomes for each week, right? Another question is, how does this week serve the bigger vision? How does this week serve the bigger vision, right? And I want for you to be very honest with yourself to say, okay, the first week came and left, and these are the things that happened that were, I'd say, obstacles in me getting to my goal, right? And I'm also going to allow myself to get to that place of thinking about it, especially my health goals, right? And the last question I'd want for you to think about is, what does my future self need me to do this week? What does my future self need me to do this week? And be very honest with yourself. It has to be very, very tangible, right? In terms of the thing to be done, right? Obviously, maybe the vision would be to be successful. Check out my new drinking device, I will call it, because it's not a Stanley, but it is a drinking device. So that concludes our vision reconnect, right? So let's move from operating from a place of urgency to a place of purpose. So for the next segment, we are going to be thinking about our weekly focus as we move into week 2 of 2026. So let's get it. So for today's video, we are thinking vision, right, to results. So having a vision, I personally believe, helps you to kind of remove and reduce decision fatigue, right? So knowing what you want to get out of this year helps you then to be able to structure your days, structure your weeks, structure your months, structure your quarters, and ultimately your entire year. And it removes misalignment, right? And what I noted here in my notes is that misalignment causes burnout, right? Misalignment causes burnout. You're doing too many things that are not aligned to who you're becoming, who you want to become in the next 10 years, who you want to become in the next year. Misalignment causes burnout. So let's really put it down. Actually, pause the video, write it in your journal in big caps. Misalignment causes burnout. That was very important before we think about planning for our week and our weekly focus for week 2 of 2026. So we're moving from vision to execution in week 2 of 2026. So there is a need for us to translate our vision to actionable results. I actually wrote actionable focus. I like that. Into actionable focus, right? So what are we doing? And I will help you think through that in terms of what that means. But what are the actions that are tied to seeing and bringing the vision that you have in your mind to fruition, right? So if you are the ultimate beginner, the one that I was talking about at the beginning, who hasn't really figured out how to get outcomes from the vision that they have for their lives, and I think let's operate from that place. We're all beginning, right? Given that it's the beginning of the year. So we're going to choose just one outcome. And for me, it's my content, right? For, let's just say, for this month. For this month's program, the focus is the content, right? So one outcome for the week, right? Choose and write it down. The second thing I'd want for you to think about is then what not to focus on, right? What not to focus on this particular week concerning that particular thing, right? And how I'd want to explain that and the thinking around it when I put it down is then to say there are certain things that count as obstacles and challenges that come or may have come in the past year that relate to that particular area. So for me, for my content, I know that if I have a busy weekend, I have to plan ahead and batch create. If I, let's say, have a very busy schedule, a busy day, afternoon, I have to do my content in the morning, right? So the not to do's or the things not to focus on would be time wasters and time vampires, which would be scrolling on TikTok needlessly, and I don't know what else. What would count as things not to focus on? Yeah, but basically time wasters, given that obviously creating content requires time. And possibly for your health journey, for my health journey, things not to focus on in terms of the health journey would be cutting out carbs. Been doing that very deliberately this past week. I'm high off of that new year. That new year high is very high. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, removing the things that are not aligned, basically, to that action that you're trying to accomplish. So sleeping late, if you are one to go to gym early in the morning, things, right, to remove will be, would be that in terms of going to bed late. Obviously, I'm losing my train of thought in this particular regard. So that means I'm done in terms of the thinking for this clip, correct? Yes, we're not going to ramble in these sessions. We'll ramble for our Faith Fridays and for our podcast. Here we are focused. But here's to settling down and thinking about one particular outcome that you want to see at the end of this week. So for me, put out 3 videos: my Monday video, my Faith Friday video, and my podcast video on Sundays. Did you see how the light changed? I think the sun went into a cloud. But anyways, we do not do long to-do lists here, right? Given that we are beginners. Closing thought. We do intentional focus. Correct? Correct. Let's move on to the next clip. So something that I love doing as part of my emotional intelligence sessions or EQ sessions that I've done in my past life, in the previous years. Ooh, I had my legs crossed, so I'm just gonna uncross them. Wait, okay, that's better. Yes, so emotional intelligence. And for this clip, we are going to be doing an emotional and energy check-in, which is very important because I am truly passionate about us getting to a place where we learn about our emotions. And I'm definitely going to do a program. All of quarter 2 will be dedicated to EQ. But for this clip, for the next 5 minutes, I wanted for us to really think about this coming week. You obviously know how your week is looking. Maybe you're going back to work, which I will be doing in 2 weeks, the week after this one. Maybe you're going back to work. I'd want for you to take this time to really think about how you're feeling. I am going to put it over here so that I remember doing these hands so that I know where to go when I'm editing. But I am going to put a list of emotions by Dr. Susan David. And I'd want for you to take a minute, pause, and just have a look at the list of emotions that have been laid out by our beautiful psychologists. Emotions that have been laid out, and I'm going to speak to 3 things that I'd want for you to think through and put down in your journal. We're planning, in a sense, in terms of planning for regulation, if I was to put it as such, planning for regulation, because obviously the week will play out the way it will, or the way it should, as life has it. I don't know if that's the right English, but the week will play out as it should. And the emotions will be triggered in terms of how you think and how you perceive and how you process the moment. But I'd want for us to have a mental plan in terms of what we want to see out of the week in the emotion front, right? So out of the list of emotions, what do you believe will be the dominant emotion for the week? Maybe it's excitement. You're excited to go back to work. Excitement will be the dominant emotion. Happiness, maybe you're expecting a big check and you've been very broke. Nervousness, maybe you're supposed to have a big conversation with your boss. But what emotion do you believe you're sitting with at the moment? Because I think even as you think about what's to come, the emotions are usually triggered because our thoughts trigger our emotions, right? So another thing I want for you to think about. So the first thing is the dominant emotion for the week, just one. And then the second thing is the emotional trigger to watch for. The emotional trigger to watch for. So what are your triggers when you're at work? What are your triggers when you're at home? I know my triggers already as a new mom. I know my breaking point in a day. in a 24-hour cycle, I know the point where I break and I have to learn to regulate. So I want for you to think about where your emotional triggers are and for you to watch for them. So we're building awareness to catch ourselves. And then lastly, what emotional skill do I need to practice in the coming week? So it could be patience, right? It could be a bit of patience, but we are learning regulation, right? So I want for you to choose what you're going to do when you're triggered this week. Maybe it's to take a step back, take a deep breath, right? 4 deep breaths in. You hold for 4 seconds and breathe out for 8 seconds, maybe. Hold, step back from the situation, take a walk, go have your lunch. This is a typical description for if you're at work. But when you're at home, you know, what's triggering you? You gotta be rested. But yeah, so what are you going to do when you are triggered? So plan for it before it happens so that when it happens, you're able to actually regulate and pull yourself back into the moment. So that concludes our emotional and energy check-in, and I have scheduled a little advertisement for after this. So here's the ad, and then we will move on to simple planning, and we're almost done with the video, so I'm very proud of myself. So I am the lead coach at Story Age Consulting, and we are a young coaching and consulting business which is focused on personal development and personal change strategy. That's the term for 2026. I've been calling myself a life coach, and I've decided instead of life coaching, we're talking personal change strategy. And what I want to offer today in my little 1-minute ad is to share how I offer 4-week programs in the areas of goal success, emotional intelligence, and life story coaching, all premised off of the certifications that I've received. So if you are interested in getting that type of coaching, please do click on the link in the description box to see our offers. These are all paid offers, but stay on if you're looking for our free offers for 2026. Stay on, it'll be there at the end of the video. So I don't know about you, but I've had a phase in my life where I'd say I was a chronic planner, where I have all these great ideas in my mind about what I want to do, but I never get it off the ground. So for this segment, I've titled it Simple Planning, the first 48 hours, right? And I want for us to really think through and thinking with our hands in our journal, even as I shared one for you to really think about the next 48 hours. So that would be the Monday and Tuesday. What are they going to look like? Obviously, I'm putting this out in the evening on a Monday, but this will be a 3-week program. So every Monday, Tuesday cycle, I'd want for us to use that time to think about the first 48 hours of your lived experience with regards to that goal, with regards to the outcome that you're trying to see. And we're thinking in a 7-week period only, just 7 weeks. Not 7 weeks, 7 days. The thought was week and the number was 7, and they just met in the air. So 7 days, a 7-day cycle, which is 1 week. So I'd want for us to think about the first 48 hours. So let's think about it, right? So what are we going to do? What one action are you going to take in the next 24 hours? That is a question. Please write it down in your journal. Pause the video. Write it down. What one action are you going to take in the next 24 hours? So for me, given that I'm recording this on a Saturday, I'm going to edit my video, edit it as best as I can, because this is aligned to purpose. So we have to do our best. Excellence at all costs. Edit my video all of today, in between my reading, of course, and living out my life as Maru's mom and right? And then secondly, what one action are you going to take in the next 48 hours? Right? So for my programs, what I really love is create printables. So for my 48 hours, I'm going to work on a printable so that by the time this video goes live on Monday, there's a printable that you can use for the 3-week period. Correct, Amundo? Yes, for the 3-week period. So what is it for you? What one action are you going to take in the next 48 hours? And if you pay attention, this can actually be applied to every single one of your goals, right? So it could be your health goal, your financial goal, your emotional, your spiritual, all of the goals that you've set out for the year. We're compressing them into the 1-week period, and we're allowing ourselves to be able to execute on those goals week in, week out, right? So as I shared, I am using my content creation as the base for our conversations for this month, right? So when will it happen? The day and the time. So when you think about the 7 days, I'd want for you to really hone down the 48 hours to say, what am I doing in the next 48 hours? So what day? As I already shared, for me, it's Saturday, Sunday, in terms of editing, posting, creating the workbook. By the time you get this on Monday, it'll all be beautifully done, right? But what is it for you? What day is it? Is it on a Monday? Is it on a Tuesday? Maybe you're sitting and saying, Gorata, you know what? I'm going to use my Thursdays and Wednesdays to go hard in terms of my health goals. Dedicating an hour at 6 to 7, right? So the day and the time. And I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, for that one goal of me starting my keyboard lessons, I might actually apply this for myself. Yes, definitely. Because I've had this keyboard for so many years and I still haven't learned how to play it. Transparency moment. So closing thought for this segment: clarity without scheduling is just motivation. So we're clear in terms of what we want to accomplish, but if we don't schedule it in, it just becomes hype, right? So what I want you to do as I close this clip is to pause this video, go to your calendar, set it set the appointment for yourself. And what I usually said in my coaching programs is we honor appointments with everyone else, but we usually don't with ourselves. So this year we are honoring the appointments that we set for ourselves. Amen. Hallelujah. So this is the second last segment for our session for today, and we are focusing on our weekly intention and motivation. And truly, for the segment of the session is for us to anchor our mindset and to anchor our identity as we step into this week, who we are showing up as and where our mind is going to be. And the best way to do that is through setting intentions, right? The bigger why, right? And also affirmations in terms of the I am, right? Of who are you showing up as this particular week with regards to the goal that you've set for yourself, with regards to you getting the outcomes that you want to get out this week, right? So we're anchoring our mindset, we're anchoring our identity, correct? Yes. So in terms of building our intention, one sentence I'd want for you to write in your journal, one sentence for the intention that you are holding for the week, right? So an example will be, this week I will move with clarity and calm. This week I will move with clarity and calm, right? And I think my intention in terms of my content, I quoted last week and I was recording my Faith Friday video, is speaking with authority, right? Being sure of what I say, being sure of the impact that I'm trying to make. So this week I will speak and show up with authority in all my videos. And then one identity-based affirmation. An example, I follow through even when motivation is low. And thankfully, this video is coming at us at the beginning of the year. We're moving on to week 2 of 2026. I don't know where you fall. Are you high off of the new year energy? Or are you waiting for Feb? Are you like the nonchalant, I'll start in February? Where are you at? Please leave it in the comment section. But like I said, I am the girl. If you can hear my energy, I think you'll see the difference between now and the energy as we go along the rest of the year. It will change because it's January. It's my favorite month of the year as a personal development girly. Guys, the flies that are in this house right now pissing me off, making me angry. But yeah, so this clip was really set out for you to think about, who are you showing up as, right? Intention and identity. I follow through affirmations. I follow through even when motivation is low. So a little plug, for you is an app called Daily Affirmations. I believe it's there both on iOS and Android. Please do check it out. And let me just write it down here. I am Daily Affirmations, so that I can put how the icon looks like, but you won't miss it. It really helps because you can set on their free version, set as many times in terms of how many affirmations you want to see throughout the day. And they have another one called motivation, where you can similarly set for it to send you quotes throughout the day, right? So yeah, so let's get into the last clip. I'm so excited because we are completing the very first episode for our coaching programs for the year. So truly, we've come to the end of, that was the last part of the program, the coaching aspect of the video. And truly, this is me concluding our video for the day. And what I'd want to encourage you, it's a bit windy. Yeah. What I'd want to encourage you to do is, one, to invite you to follow our WhatsApp community at Story Age Consulting. I tried searching it the other day, but it doesn't doesn't show. So I will put our number here, and I will also share the link. Actually, let me just do that. Yes, so the link to our community, I'm just gonna circle everything I need to everything I need to put out, correct? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll put the link in the description box for you to follow our WhatsApp community. I set it up last week actually, so it's still new, still fresh. But the hope there is to share with you weekly reflection via the community for you to easily access. But what I do want to do in 2026 is build my mailing list, and where I will be sharing information, or special information about my programs, about, everything and anything to do with that coaching and consulting for 2026, given that we are rebranding. If you are looking to join my email list, please do click on the link as well. I will put it in the description box and in the comments, and pin it as the key comment for the video. That's the second thing, right? Yeah, I think those are the two things. But I just wanted to share how since I will be creating these free printables, there is a link that I will share. Yes, for you to be able to access all the printables that I'm going to create for the year, right? So I'm just numbering how I spoke to everything. Yeah, pretty much I spoke to everything. Yeah, but basically I will be putting up all the printables that I create on a Google Drive, where you can access them anytime, every single time. So you will see some of the printables from my December where I did 25 days of prayer. So it will be a mix of the coaching printables and my YouTube faith-based content, because I love me a good printable. And if you've enjoyed this content, there is a link as well in my comments where you can buy me coffee and just support me as a creator. I'm currently at 2.6 subscribers, but I haven't actually caught up in terms of the monetization watch hours. But it's a thing of, if you would like to support the cause, if you'd like to support the girl, and buy me a coffee, click on the link, and yeah, you'll see, you'll work it out over there. It's very tough asking, but we're going to learn how to do it in 2026. Because why? We lose absolutely nothing when we ask. The Bible even says it. Asking, it shall be given unto you. So my closing thought. This is the thing that you had been waiting for. That thing that I said, wait until the very end. This is the very end. So I have decided to set up an accountability session. Yes, a free accountability session, which I've titled 6 weeks from vision to results. And you can subscribe to it through my booking site, where you can book for your sessions, 15 minutes, where we can sit together one-on-one. It's going to be an opportunity for me to refine my coaching skills, an opportunity for you to build accountability for the goals that you've set for yourself. So in the comment section, in the description box, look out for the free, I'll just put it as free. Free 6 weeks from vision to results, where you can book your sessions. So what I'd encourage you to do is book in advance, right? So book for your 6 sessions, right, in advance. And there's specific days where I'm available, so you will be able to see those specific days, since I am a working girly. But yeah, that's that. That is that. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I'm so proud of myself for being able to make it this far. It's nice. It feels like crossing the finish line in a long marathon. That's how it feels. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back here next week, Monday. Same format. We're doing it. I love routine. I love structure. So we're going to be here for the next few weeks, talking about how we move our vision to results in 2026, just for the month of Jan. And rinse and repeat for the whole year with 1 year program every single month. 3. I said it. If you made it here, you know I said it. But otherwise, I'm rambling to a close. I pray that may God's favor locate you and may His grace sustain you as you live out this new week. Be blessed and see you next Monday.